me because in 1999 when our vineyard was planted, we were Larner Vineyard, which basically meant we sold fruit. And up until 2009, we sold 100% of our fruit. And to folks like Scott, Mark, Larry, Chad, I think you two are the only ones that haven't bought fruit from me.
I steal your clients to use on my slide presentation.
So it's an honor because for us, the brand really originated from winemakers that were talented and seeking out varieties like Syrah, Grenache, Mourvedre that we have on the estate. And Wendy's right, of our 34 acres, 23 is planted to Syrah. So we knew and heavily invested in Syrah for our estate. We're about 2 miles south of Stoltman, and the climate's not that much different, but what does change is some of the geology. Pete has a little bit more limestone substrate. I have more chalk. So that's same sort of material, but just in a different physical state. Chalk's fractured and allows root penetration, allows sort of water and you know, get a little bit of perched situations. So it kind of creates a similar element, which all of us have the same base material, but the nature that it's in changes the dynamic. Because what's interesting for me is I have very sandy soils on top of that chalk. And that forces the vines to be stressed out almost year-round. And so we essentially have to be very proactive in our farming. And so luckily, being a vineyard first, we spent a lot of time dialing in the vineyard, making sure that the fruit was optimal, doing per acre agreements, getting clients up to speed to the best fruit possible. Then it was a natural step for us to branch out. So the first year I made wine was 2009. And I had the good fortune of working for Gigal in France, Antinori in Italy, and something that was locked into my mind is allow the wines to evolve on their own, age them longer, release them later, so they're enjoyable to drink right off the bat. And so actually my current release, which you're trying today, is 2011, and that's by design, because I want that wine to be well integrated and velvety and soft. I also chose 2011 because when you get to California and the wine critics, basically everybody panned 2011. And if you get rain north of Paso Robles, everybody thinks California got hosed with water. But we didn't get anything. And yes, it may have been a slightly cooler vintage, but that doesn't mean anything when it comes to Syrah. It just changes the expression of the varietal and the wine. So I wanted to kind of showcase a vintage that I thought may not have been well received by the critics, but to me it was well received because it shows really nice elegance and balance. So.
It does. Michael, why do you think Ballard Canyon is so perfectly suited for Syrah?
I jokingly call it the Goldilocks syndrome, which is not too cool, it's not too hot. It's, you know, when you try some of the wines from Santa Rita, you'll find there are certain Syrah characteristics that are accentuated and that almost define the wine. And I usually see more pepper spices kind of things. And then if you try a wine that's more in Happy Canyon, this Syrah grows in every AVA, you'll find more fruit forward. But when you're in Ballard, you have all of that. You have pepper, you have fruit, you have balance, you have the good acidity. So to me, it's almost like the perfect place to grow Syrah. And one of the things that makes us sort of, Pete and I, aware of that is that we don't have to work really hard to make a good Syrah. It sort of does it for us, and then we're sort of there corralling it into making the styles that we want to identify with our brand. You know, if we were in other regions, we might have to do something to help get it right if it's too cool, or you know, pick early so we get away from the overly fruity tones or alcohol. But in Ballard Canyon, it's very much, we call it Syrah Territory because it's very comfortable in that domain.